Let's hear from these guys. Todd, you come. Todd Harris.
Hello out there, Patriots.
Hello.
My name's Todd Harris, and with your help, I'm going to end 34 years of Democrat control at the Register of Deeds office in Surrey County. It's great to be with a bunch of Constitution-loving patriots here today, and I know it's hot, and I'm going to keep my message very brief. But I've got a weather forecast for Democrats. If you think it's hot today, you ain't seen nothing on the first Tuesday in November. You may ask why the Register of Deeds office is important. Well, let me give you just one example. In Guilford County, the Democrat Register of Deeds brought suit against the state of North Carolina to allow gay marriage. I can promise you that if I am your Register of Deeds, that there will be a strict adherence to the laws of the state of North Carolina, to the Constitution of the state of North Carolina, and to the Constitution of this great country of ours. We need more conservative constitutional candidates at every level of government. We need them in the White House, we need them in the State House, and we need them in the courthouse here in Surrey County. And with your help, I can do it. Come and see me before you leave today. I've got plenty of yard signs. I'd like to talk to you. I'd like to see what's on your mind so that we can win this race in November. Thank you, and God bless you, and God bless this great country.
Thank you, Todd. All right, I'm just going to let these guys, I'll let them just keep coming, hand the mic off to each other. Okay, AJ?
How are you doing? Thank you, Pastor. I want to thank everybody first off. AJ Daoud's the name. I want to thank you all for supporting me, endorsing me, and helping me in my run for Secretary of State. Go ahead. Hey, listen, we're all friends here and family. I want to tell you that I was recently recognized by the various Tea Parties around the state and by the state GOP to RAL radio and TV in Raleigh. I am the only candidate that lost in the primary that is actively out campaigning for all the winners and for the Secretary of State. We want to make sure it goes GOP. They call me the GOP unifier. The first person that I've been around the state, and I have been actively campaigning 5 days a week. I've been from Jacksonville to Asheville. And I will tell you, the first person that I am supporting and endorsed and have helped tremendously is Ed Goodwin. Ed Goodwin, in case you do not know, is a Chowan County Commissioner, a farmer, a former military man. He invented, which a lot of you all do not know, he invented a pack that will absorb blood for a battle wound, that will absorb blood within 10 seconds and reduce the bleeding of somebody injured in battle. That is a hell of a man in my book. Go ahead and applaud. The second thing is, a lot of you know that I'm an ex-law enforcement guy. Ed also is an ex-law enforcement guy. So I endorse you, I beg you. I've been distributing Ed signs all around the state. I ask you all to not only support Ed, but Ed, unlike his opponent, has turned Chowan County, a bankrupt county by the Democrats, out of bankruptcy. That's number one. Number two, his opponent was voted out of office for an issue that I invite you to check that will be used by Elaine Marshall to retain her seat. It was that severe enough. The second person I'd like to talk to you about that I've been campaigning for is John Tedesco. How many people have heard John speak? John is a great guy. Matter of fact, he texted me last night. We go back and forth. We're going to have dinner with him in Raleigh this week. But John has a passion for kids that is unmatched by anybody else that I had the experience of seeing on the campaign trail. His heart is in it. And he's one of the very few people that will tell you not only is his heart into it, but he cares about the kids. And his big platform is, let's return education to the local counties and get it away from Raleigh and Washington. Again, John is running against somebody who has taken the position that they want to eliminate the constitutionally mandated voter elected position and do away with it in lieu of the governor's appointed commissioner of insurance. We cannot have the people lose their vote when it comes to their education. Support John Tedesco. The last person I'm going to talk to you about, who I've also been campaigning for, is a great guy. He's from Greensboro. He's a farmer. He's an insurance man. He is a guy by the name of Mike Causey. How many of you all know Mike Causey? Mike Causey, his big premise is, just like myself as a business owner here in Pilot, wants to reduce insurance. It is sick and tired of our current insurance commissioner, who has already raised $450,000 from the insurance companies for his campaign. And he has an opponent that was thrown off the GOP. Remember the days of the co-speaker? Yep. He was thrown off the GOP executive board. Mike Causey, we have to get into office. Again, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for letting me speak to you. Thank you for supporting you. I urge you, we need to get the Council of State GOP, because that is the business arm of the state. If we don't, it'll be the same old for the next 4 years. God bless you, and thank you all for letting me talk to you today.
All right, next is Velvet Shelton, and I just don't know who she's endorsing, amen? Wouldn't have a clue, all right?
Thank you, Larry. Yes, my name's Velvet, and I'm honored here today to be speaking a few words for the campaign of Dan Forrest. And if you're not familiar with that name, Dan is a candidate in the North Carolina Lieutenant Governor's race. Personally, I think he is the best candidate that we've got. Dan is a conservative, fiscal, and social. Stephen, you have just made me lose my train of thought watching that. I'm sorry. Conservative. He's married to Alice, and they have 4 children and reside in Raleigh. They are a homeschool family. Their oldest one has graduated and is in his first year at UNC Chapel Hill. Dan's background is not in politics. He's not a career politician. He comes from a business background. He has the past 23 years been the office president and senior partner in the biggest architectural firm in North Carolina. Although he does come from a political family, his mother is Congresswoman Sue Myrick of the 9th District. Early on in Dan's campaign, he knew from the beginning that he was wanting to run a grassroots campaign, and in that effort, he has accomplished that. He has visited over every county, all 100 counties in the state. He has traveled over 130,000 miles to meet as many people on a one-on-one basis and to listen to their concerns and hear their concerns face to face. And that's really accomplishing a lot when if you look at it, today's majority of decisions are made on 30-second sound bites and commercials, and that's really sad. But Dan's made an excellent effort to really run a grassroots campaign, and I encourage everyone to please go back out and vote for him on July the 17th. He did win the primary by 62,000 votes. He has been endorsed by iCaucus. He has been endorsed by Club for Growth, and he has took the pledge and signed in the survey to stand up against Agenda 21 and sustainable development. So please, I ask you that you go back out July the 17th and vote for Dan Forrest for Lieutenant Governor. Thank you.
All right, Gary. God bless you. Tell them.
I'm Gary Tilley. I'm one of the volunteer coordinators for the Mitt Romney campaign. My only claim to fame, however, I have to admit and confess, is that I'm a first cousin to Phil Tilley. How about that, Phil? He is great. He's a great singer, great patriot. I'm here because I believe in America, and I believe in the founding principles of this country. I've never been involved before, but I have gotten involved in this election because it's crucial for us to turn around the overreach of the federal government. It's crucial for us to turn and reverse this overspending, this out-of-control spending of the federal government. It's critical that we overturn and reverse Obamacare. Mitt Romney has pledged to do all those things and more. I'll just, with only a minute to talk, I just want to let you know that we are still looking for volunteers in the campaign. If you're not over overcommitted already to something else. We'd love to have you in the campaign. Just see me after this. I'll be circulating around. Let's get out the vote in November. That's critical. I think Surrey County is doing great. Kara Noonkester, I have to give her a lot of credit. She has done a great job organizing and training a bunch of precinct chairs throughout the county. I believe we have a precinct chair in every precinct in the county now, and we're prepared to have troops on the ground in November. It's OMG. Obama must go.
Yes!
Thank you, Gary. And that's, Romney will be our next president.
Yeah.
Right?
Amen.
He will be. All right.
Is everybody cool out there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd just like to encourage each one of you today. My name is Jim Isley, and where's Kevin at? Kevin, I guess I can say this. I don't know if I'm really with any one single Tea Party anymore, so I'm just going to come out and tell you that North Carolina Central Tea Party Patriots, I'm here representing them today. North Carolina Central Tea Party Patriots is a group of Tea Parties across this great state. I don't know that we really know any boundaries. So if you're in a Tea Party across this great state, come and see Kevin or Velvet or myself or any of the folks here, and they'll be able to share more with you about that. I'm also here to speak for a gentleman who I think would be a great replacement for Roberts up in Washington. This gentleman does not need your money, but he needs your vote. Come November 6th, we've got a battle. They are sending in the money, they are sending in the people to defeat Justice Paul Newby. He's one of our last hopes on the Supreme Court of North Carolina. So without further ado, everybody knows the phrase. In November 6th, Scooby-Dooby, vote for Newby. Thank you and God bless you.
Thank you, Jim. Well, ladies and gentlemen, these are some great candidates. Let's get out, encourage our family and friends to vote for them. And you would be surprised how that sometimes just a conversation, even with someone who voted for the president. My daughter was explaining to one of her co-workers in Winston-Salem who was voted for President Obama. And the co-worker now is complaining about the health care and said, well, they mean that's going to be a tax. My daughter said, that's right. And she said, well, how can they do that? And she said, well, my dad can explain it to you, but let me explain it to you the way he explained it to me. And when my daughter got done explaining it to her, she said, well, that's not right. You know, and that's from an Obama supporter. Now, guys, that's just office work conversation. That's not out here, you know, marching up on some hot asphalt. That's just talking to a coworker who voted wrong in the last election, who probably and hopefully is going to get it right this election. Amen? Amen. Well, listen, thank you for being here. God bless you. Celebrate your country's independence. Guys, let's keep it free and keep it strong. All right? Woo!